Hey, how you guys doing? Welcome back to another Q&A stream. Excuse me a sec. I'm going to quickly change the title of the stream. Let's see. The Book of Boba Fett Rewrite? Question mark. Woman Q&A stream. There we go. Oh, this someone? All right, there we go. All right, how's everyone doing? Welcome to another stream. Probably going on for about an hour or so. Happy Sunday, everyone. We got President's Day tomorrow for Americans, so a lot of people have off, which is great because I love having off from work. But let's go to the chat. This is where the fun begins. Halo 117, nice. I had an ideal first episode of season 3 theory. What if Din and Grogu went to Hosnian Prime to see Moff Gideon get executed, but a new antagonist stops the execution and saved Gideon? I don't know if that's gonna happen, but we'll see. Sorry, I think I'm gonna have to miss today's stream. I have some things I have to do this morning. No worries, just make sure you destroy the like button for the YouTube algorithm, and I'll be okay. Love the Cobb Vanth cosplay. Why are you saying I look like Cobb Vanth? I'm just wearing a regular long sleeve. But Timothy Oliphant's a handsome man, so I'll take that as a compliment. Hello there, what's up? I guess the neck is a bit shorter though. I suppose. How's everyone doing? It's been about a week and a half since the Book of Boba Fett has concluded. My thoughts haven't changed. I still don't really like the series. I did release my video, my full-on review. That was like 45 minutes. What did you guys think of that? Did you guys think I made good points? Think I made any bad points? What do you think? Hello there. What's up, guys? Also, in this stream, I'm kind of curious because since we got a little bit of a hiatus of Star Wars now for about 3 months until Obi-Wan comes out, I'm going to be covering lots of different things. I will definitely be making videos on Halo, this series, when it comes out. Probably not too many, maybe like 1 a week, maybe 2 at most. So I'll probably be covering the new Halo series when it comes out. Besides that, I'm just open ears to cover any topics. My video tomorrow, my next video is either going to come out tomorrow or Tuesday. I'm hoping tomorrow, but we'll see how much of it I get done today. I keep on hitting my desk. So tomorrow's video is probably going to be my rewrite of the Book of Boba Fett. And then Tuesday, I'll probably be doing a tier list of the movies and seasons of the live action shows. So the 11 movies, Mando season 1 and 2, and the Book of Boba Fett. And then Wednesday will be a very special video because Wednesday is going to be my 2 years on YouTube video. Isn't that crazy? It's been 2 years already. I've been doing the Goldman. And I have a lot to say there because you guys have to wait and see. Great video, thanks. I think I could just have this on the background. I appreciate that. It helps me out. Make a review on Infinite. I'm not really much of a gamer. I really liked Halo Infinite. I might do a video where I kind of give my thoughts on all the campaigns of all the games, but we'll see. It used to be 3 years until the next Star Wars thing. Yeah, isn't that nuts? Now we're like, oh, we got to wait so long. We got to wait 3 months for the next Star Wars story. And before it used to be 3 years. That is insane. Oh, here, I'll go back to this question. Do you think Barriss Offee actually saved Grogu, or it'd be a brand new character was the one who saved Grogu? It would kind of make sense if Barriss saved Grogu. She didn't like straight up turn to the dark side. She just really didn't like the Jedi. So I could see her having sympathy for her baby. It's possible. We don't know what happened to her, so her story's up in the air. Gotta go. Oh, gotta. I assume you wanted to say gotta go, but all right. Thanks for tuning in. Do. But also another thing I want to ask you guys is like, are there any specific topics, if you will, you would like to see me cover? Make certain types of videos. Maybe talk about this character. Do this and that. Here, I guess I'll answer this. Are you going to reaction to the diversity backlash of Lord of the Rings TV? I might cover the series when it comes out, but I'm not really too interested in talking about the fandom. Maybe I'll make a rant video, but I kind of understand a little bit of both sides of the argument there, where it's like, just because there's minority casting in a show, of course, that doesn't mean it was forced or that all this nonsense and that. I can understand how that's annoying or why people would be annoyed to that reaction because a lot of it is pretty bad. I mean, just like people see a black character in Lord of the Rings, they freak out. And it's like, dude, come on, grow up. But on the other side of the story, if like I'm not familiar with Tolkien's world, but if Tolkien's world was always with like white people, it would be kind of the same if like an Avatar, right? You know that the live action Avatar show, it's all Asian people. That makes sense because it was created for an Asian world. And with Black Panther, if there was a bunch of white characters in Wakanda, that would be weird because Wakanda is in Africa, filled with a lot of Africans. So I kind of understand the point where it's like, oh, Lord of the Rings world, just because it's now all white people, they have to change it just because it's white people. But either way, I don't really care. I'm not upset about it. I like seeing different people because for me, in my mind, in fantasy stories, it makes sense to have diverse people because that's how a fantasy world should be. There should be different kinds of people all around. But for the Tolkien fans, they may be overreacting a little bit, but I somewhat understand their complaints. Those are kind of my thoughts. We've gone from getting a Star Wars thing every 3 years to getting a Star Wars thing every year to getting a Star Wars thing every few months. Yeah, soon it's going to be even shorter. What do you think of the Yuzong Vong from Star Wars Legends, and what do you think of them appearing in canon? I never read any of the books with the Vong, so I can't say if their stories were good or bad. I just know what they were conceptually, and conceptually they're very interesting. I don't like the idea of the force immune species, but I do love the idea of a different alien race invading the galaxy from another galaxy and posing a threat that way. I would love if a post Rise of Skywalker story kind of tackled the Yuzong Vong or species like the Yuzong Vong. I'd say talk about the MCU like you did with the Hawkeye series. Maybe I'll do a review of the what's it called? The Oscar Isaac series, Moon Knight. Maybe I don't know. I'm just not as into Marvel. Like I like the stories, but when I think of what I'm really passionate about, you got Star Wars, you got the Avatar franchise, you got Halo. With Marvel, it's kind of something I just enjoy. Not sure if it's something I'm really passionate about, so we'll see. I don't want to make content just for the sake of content. I want to do videos I'm somewhat passionate about, so we'll see. Maybe a bit more MCU, maybe. What are your goals in life? I don't know. I'm too young to have serious long-term goals. I don't know, just to live a happy life, enjoy what I do, meet good people, be a good person, be a good friend. Staying. I have like in my head, I have like a list of 15 people that are the most important people in my life, and I kind of devote all my energy towards them. So make them happy because they'll make me happy. And that's kind of my goals. I just want to be a happy person, do stuff that I like, and try and be as good of a person as I can be. I seriously do think Star Wars fans need to drop the Yuzong Bong thing. They're technically not needed in canon. I mean, they're not needed, but they're an interesting idea, and I wouldn't mind seeing them. Thoughts on new Jurassic World trailer? Looks fun. I don't really care as much. It's not something I think about all the time. Like, oh my god, we saw this dinosaur. It looks fun. I'll probably see it. Those are my thoughts. One thing you change about original trilogy, prequel trilogy, sequel trilogy. I would change so much about the prequels. I think I would put more of an emphasis on Obi-Wan and Anakin's relationship in the prequels because the Clone Wars did a great job at that, but the movies did an awful job. The originals, what would I change about the originals? I'd probably change a little bit for Return of the Jedi. Maybe make the Battle of Endor, like the stuff with Han Solo, a little bit more exciting. Not a big deal. And with the sequels, I'd probably change so much of the Rise of Skywalker. A Vong storyline would be the only storyline I would be okay with getting its own trilogy. Yeah, that would be really interesting. Although I want to see these stories not like these galactic battles or these galactic wars not constrained to one trilogy. Like if you look at the EU version of the Galactic Civil War, the Rebels versus the Empire lasted far longer than the Battle of Endor. So I kind of want a story like that, have it actually be really fleshed out. And if they do a Vong storyline, Have a show or an animated series or a bunch of books set in between the movies that really flesh it out for the hardcore fans like me. I don't want just 3 stories and have them tossed to the side, kind of like the sequels did. Like it's really disappointing that the whole First Order conflict only lasted about 1 year. I don't know. I don't like that. Wars should be much bigger in Star Wars. So I want more about that. Next question. Dream Star Wars video game? A Jedi Fallen Order type game with Rey or Finn as the main character. My real dream Star Wars video game was going to be Lego Star Wars The Complete Saga or the Skywalker Saga, but we're already getting that, so might as well choose something else. What do you think of General Grievous? He's my least favorite character in all of Star Wars. I despise what he represents in Star Wars, and I think his creation goes against everything I love about Star Wars. So yeah, I hate General Grievous. I hope we never see him again. And if he actually got brought back to life, even though we literally saw him die, I think I'd be depressed. What I would change in the OT, make Jabba's palace sequence shorter. I liked it. I think I would change it so it actually makes sense. Because if you really think about the logistics of Luke, Leia's, and Lando's plan going into rescuing Han, it makes no sense. There's probably some video out there about how that makes no sense. I'm not going to go into it. But I wouldn't change too much about Return of the Jedi. The OT is the OT. I love it. I wouldn't change too much. The prequels are a disaster to me, and the sequels, I would change a lot about the rest of Skywalker. And probably Finn's arc in the Last Jedi. That's what I would do. I like when people ask me small things like, what do you think about this minute aspect of the Star Wars franchise? What do I think about the Knights of Ren? They looked cool. They were disappointing. I wouldn't mind seeing more of them in stories before The Force Awakens, but I don't really care about the Knights of Ren. What I would change in the prequel trilogy, make Attack of the Clones Episode 1, have Episode 2 be a Clone Wars story, have Episode 3 be the same. I think I would just change the Phantom Menace so Anakin's a bit older, so his relationship with Padme isn't as weird, especially if you watch the Phantom Menace. Yeah. If I don't really like rewriting the old movies. Like that may sound hypocritical because I'm doing a rewrite of the Book of Boba Fett, and that video will come out soon. But that's kind of more recent, and so many people have done rewrites of the prequels and the sequels. So I don't want to do that when so many other people have done it. I haven't really seen any rewrites of the Book of Boba Fett, so that's why I kind of want to do that because I think it would be really interesting. Does it annoy you in random comment sections that got nothing to do with the sequel trilogy and it says better than the new movies? A little bit. I try not to pay attention to like other fans as much. I like what I like. I'm sorry a lot of fans don't like the sequels, but yeah, a lot of fans are immature about it. It's like, oh, it's always going to be better than the sequels. Okay, we get it. You didn't like it. Move on. What I would change in the sequel trilogy, make the First Order conflict last more than a year. Yeah, and that's the Rise of Skywalker's fault. I would definitely make the Rise of Skywalker take place far after the Last Jedi. And kind of do something like Duel of the Fates. You know? I would change so much about Episode 9. But hey, that's just me, a semi-disgruntled sequel trilogy fan who wanted a little bit better for the finale. Dude, I don't know what it is, but I am exhausted. Like, I got plenty of sleep last night. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm like just not eating right. I need to eat better. Also, I need to finish this video on my Book of Boba Fett rewrite. I think the video, my Book of Boba Fett rewrite, is going to be 20 to 25 minutes long. Do you guys still hear me? I think my mic cut out. I think I accidentally just muted my mic. Sorry, guys. Yeah, there's like a little touchpad here, so I can mute my mic on this. See? Which is yeah, there we go. There we go. Hello, testing. All right, I'm back. Would you like to see a show about Luke or Rey rebuilding the Jedi Order? We're kind of seeing that with Luke. With Rey, I think they should focus on Luke's Jedi Order first before they do anything with Rey. Because ideally, I'd like you should watch my Chataween show episode because I really went in depth about what I would like to see with a post Rise of Skywalker story and how what happens with Luke's academy matters a lot too. Hey there, yo yo yo. What is your opinion on the Fandom Menace, and do you think their complaints are genuine or just pandering to their audiences? I think the Fandom Menace is probably the worst aspect of fandom you could possibly get. People who just constantly complain about everything, who provide nothing positive to the fandom and just want to complain. I think a lot of the people, a lot of the content creators within the Fandom Menace, they do it just because they know hate topics will get clicks. I don't think they care about fandom at all. I think the people in the Fandom Menace just care about making money, and they'll sacrifice the enjoyment of the fandom for the people. I think they've genuinely brainwashed people into believing that like a lot of these new movies are woke when that's nonsense. There is not once in the sequel trilogy any sort of comment that is made about women being better than men, about minorities being better than white people. Not once. There's just diverse people. A lot of people don't like the movies, and they're convinced now that because the creators wanted diversity in these movies, that is the reason why they're bad, and that is a dangerous belief to have. I think there's a lot of good people, I guess, in the Fandom Menace that are just disgruntled with the direction of Disney Star Wars, and they have joined a rather bad group within the Star Wars community. So those are my thoughts. I don't watch UFC. Hey there, dude. Here's my own question, but it's somewhat imaginatively meta. What if the Galactic Empire arrived in the Milky Way galaxy and found Earth as it is now? They would probably take over Earth in a second. There's nothing humans could do. What are we gonna do? Launch fighters into space? Maybe we could defend ourselves on Earth with nukes and stuff, but it would be a disaster. We'd probably have to surrender, and the Empire would take us over and enslave the entire galaxy. Honestly, the best thing you can do about the Phantom Menace is ignore them. It's so exhausting watching their content. I used to have that belief, but the thing is, the Phantom Menace, at least they used to, I'm not sure if they are now, are brainwashing a lot of people into believing some really negative things that aren't true. Like, there are people out there that would genuinely come to me and say, oh, aren't all these movies really woke? I'm like, no, they're not. And so ideally, I'd like to ignore them, but they do a lot of harm to people who are just getting into the franchise. And it's dangerous. What do you think? Who do you think would win in a fight, Kylo Ren or Darth Maul? It depends what Kylo Ren we're getting. Are we getting emotionally conflicted Kylo Ren who just killed his father and is crying throughout the whole trilogy? If so, then I'd probably choose Darth Maul. But if we're getting a Kylo Ren that is not emotionally conflicted, who is focused on his goals and has fully embraced the dark side, then I'd probably choose Kylo Ren. He is a Skywalker. So, actually, that's a good point. Yeah, it is. That's kind of my take on like the Phantom Menace and stuff. They're not really that relevant anymore. Because thank God, I'm not saying I was happy that Gina Carano got fired, but easily the best part about all that is that whole toxic side of the fandom has decided to abandon Star Wars and focus on something else, which I'm grateful for. Focus on something else. I have a friend who calls The Last Jedi SJW propaganda, and I don't take him seriously when he talks like that. Still a good dude, though. Yeah, there's good people out there that have misguided takes on certain things. There's nothing wrong with thinking The Last Jedi is a bad movie, but if you think it's SJW propaganda, then something's wrong. Like you've been either brainwashed or you're just not educated on the topic. Because again, besides anti-war, what SJW message is sent from The Last Jedi? And like people would say, oh, because the women tell all the men what to do in that movie. And if you say that, you're so ignorant to what story is. The whole point of The Last Jedi is that pretty much all the men in that movie, Poe, Finn, and Luke, they all go on arcs in that movie, and the women help them out on those arcs. And if you think that's SJW propaganda, then I don't know what to say to you. That means you don't believe that women can help men become better people. And that's a very, very bad thought to have. Boba's show could have been good if they had a whole show focused on Boba and had Cad Bane the antagonist from the start. Also, they should have had Boba be a bad guy. Maybe not so much be a bad guy, but not be a pushover bitch like he was in his own series. So, yeah. Also, they will make up lies about these movies to try and gain more support. Oh, yeah. I saw this one video. It was like kind of a documentary-esque story on the sequels. And they're just straight up lying and creating up their own history. Like they would say how after the Force Awakens, there was a lot of a caution and hesitancy towards the Last Jedi and towards the lead up to the Last Jedi. That's just simply not true. People like the lead up to the Last Jedi was filled with excitement. Almost everyone loved the Force Awakens, and yeah, there were a few people that were somewhat skeptical of the Last Jedi, but it wasn't met with like people fearing and like barely any optimism. It's just not true. So yeah. Sorry. So yeah, those are kind of my thoughts on that. Let's try not to talk about like the toxic side of the fandom. Let's try and talk about Star Wars. Remember, we don't fight what we hate. We save what we love. Great quote used at a very poor time in the movie. I don't believe that's a hot take. I don't know. The hate that a lot of these movies get is just ridiculous, man. Now let's go from a more benign faction instead of the Empire. What if the Jedi Order? What if it were the Jedi Order or the Republic, either the KOTOR era or the Knights or the Rise of the Empire era? Yeah, I don't know. I just watched your Rey is not a Mary Sue video, and it was one of the best and most needed Star Wars videos I've ever seen. I really appreciate that. Thank you. I haven't watched that video in over a year and a half now. Like I made it, and once I uploaded it, I never watched it again. I probably should. Actually, I probably shouldn't. Because if I do rewatch it, there's probably a lot of things I would change and a lot of points I would remake where I would have expressed differently. But I think that's just anyone who makes any sort of content, whether it be a story, a video, a speech, they always will think, oh, I probably could have done this better. Sorry to ask negative related questions. Do you think the toxic part of the fandom will turn on Dave Filoni now that it is fairly clear he has no intention of removing the sequels from canon? Maybe. I don't know. The thing is, a lot of these people, like a lot of these fandom menace-esque people that were shitting on Star Wars, they've moved on. They don't really focus on Star Wars anymore. Like a lot of them just didn't even watch the Book of Boba Fett because they're like, oh, Disney fired Gina Carano. I'm standing with her. I'm not going to support Disney anymore. It's like, okay, fine. See you later. Bye. Like, thank you for making our fandom finally a little bit more peaceful again. Anyone who believes that the sequel trilogy will be removed from canon is an idiot. They are not educated. They are so blinded by their hatred that they just are ignoring any sort of logic and reasonable thinking. So a lot of people don't really have that thought process. There's a few bad apples that do, but I think a lot of them are just completely disenfranchised with Star Wars, or they're grifters on the internet who are trying to make money off people. I think most of the fandom, I think the Star Wars fandom now is in a fairly better place than it was like 2 years ago or a year ago. Yeah, there's still people who keep on saying like, oh, this and that, but a lot of them kind of get looked down upon. It's like we both may dislike the sequels, but your complaints are ridiculous, dude. I feel like it's how a lot of reasonable Star Wars thinking fans feel. So, no. Who cares if they turn on Dave Filoni? If they were to find Earth, I mean, my bad for any confusion, homie. They wouldn't find it. Earth would be screwed if the Empire found them. Dave Filoni has defended Rey before. Absolutely, but people refuse to ignore that. Dave Filoni actually said a lot of great things about The Last Jedi in, I think, The Rise of Skywalker art book. He made a lot of comments on The Last Jedi and why he thinks like it's beautiful in certain ways. But yeah, no one knows that. Should Reddit be credited as the main screenwriter for The Rise of Skywalker? I've heard that. No, The Rise of Skywalker has many problems. It's not that bad. I think the way Star Wars Theory goes about talking about Disney Star Wars is good because he talks about them from a critical standpoint, does not gatekeep. Phantom Menace just gatekeeps. Hold on, my brother just texted me. I'm doing a stream right now. I can't. Star Wars Theory, I think gets a bad rap from in a lot of ways. There's some things that I don't like that he does, but I'm not getting into that now. Star Wars Theory is not even close to being representative of the toxic side of the fandom, even though I disagree with him on a lot of things. Yeah, I guess that's all I have to say. Phantom Menace boycotts are successful in the sense that it makes the fandom better when they aren't a part of it. Oh, 100%. Have you seen any of the newer Disney animated movies? If so, what are your thoughts? I don't think I have. I saw. I don't know any of the new ones I saw, to be honest. Toy Story 4? Maybe it's the newest one I've seen? I don't know. You should try getting on Star Wars Theories Council, which is made up of mostly sequel fans. I don't know. I'm not gonna like go out of my way and try and beg Star Wars Theory to go on his channel. If anything, I just like to have a one-on-one debate with him about just the sequel trilogy and why I think there's certain aspects of it that are really great. But yeah, I don't need to just go on there and talk about random things. That's not me. What if you made a video called "Why You Need to Stop the Phantom Menace Propaganda Videos"? Do you think it would get other Star Wars fans to stop watching the videos? No, I don't want to feed into the drama. If anything, it'll probably make it worse. There's other channels that do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to be a fandom guy. I don't want to be involved in fandom drama. I want to talk about stories. I love storytelling. That's my passion, not getting involved with the fandom. I don't take Star Wars Theory seriously because one, his favorite movie is Revenge of the Sith. Two, he's bald. Bro, that's just wrong. I'll be honest, that's just wrong. Like, who cares what his favorite Star Wars movie is? He's a Star Wars fan, and who gives a shit if he's bald? I think that's messed up, if I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think Dave Filoni is allowed to say he didn't like any Disney Star Wars thing, especially after Mark Hamill. I don't get your point. I think Dave Filoni would never say he openly dislikes some aspect of Star Wars. So I don't think that's a topic that's even necessary. Could you imagine a continuation of Rey's story? Who do you think would be her antagonist? I don't know. Probably some character we've never seen before. We'll eventually get it. If you think the rest of Star Wars throughout the rest of time will never touch on Rey's story after the Rise of Skywalker, that's pretty naive. The question is how soon it will happen and in what medium will it happen? Probably not for another few years. And I don't know if Daisy Ridley would ever come back to the role. I think so. If Hayden Christensen returned to play Anakin Skywalker, it would be dangerously hard to convince me that Daisy Ridley wouldn't consider it one day, especially if there was a nice paycheck involved. So I think more likely we would see her in an animated form before we see her in live action again. Actually, we'd probably see a book from her sooner than both of those, but eventually at some point, not in a Lego special, we will see Rey's story continued. It's just a matter of when, and I hope it happens sooner rather than later. What is your favorite Star Wars channel? The Goldman. No. Favorite Star Wars channels? I like Eckhart's Ladder a lot. He gives good takes. The thing is, I'm not really into a lot of Star Wars channels. Really dive deep into like the lore and explaining the backstories and certain things and all that. I'm not as interested in that aspect of Star Wars. I'm more of a guy who likes writing and storytelling, and I think Star Wars is just something I'm really passionate about. So I kind of analyze that aspect of Star Wars. A lot of other channels don't do that as much. So I like YouTube channels a lot more that analyze that aspect of storytelling, like what makes a good story, what makes good world building, what makes good writing, what makes good characters. I'm more interested in that than channels are like, here are 10 facts of Chrysantan you didn't know, or what does this really mean, or is Cad Bane really alive? I probably referenced a bunch of Star Wars theories videos. I'm just not interested in that kind of content. Not saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm just not interested in that kind of content. A, Revenge of the Sith is great. B, it doesn't matter if you're bald. Yeah, it was a stupid comment by that one guy, to be honest. I think Rey will return because Daisy really liked her character. I don't know what Daisy Ridley thinks. I think she's mostly happy with the way her character turned out. I don't know if she has any interest in doing anything going forward. I hope she does. Do you watch Turf Nation and will you collab? I like the videos he does. He does a lot of videos I wish I could make a separate channel for and do, talking about the really shitty aspects of certain YouTubers and how they've had a completely negative effect on the fandom. Would I ever collab with him? Maybe. If you ever wanted to have me on and discuss things, we would probably agree on a lot of things, so there wouldn't be that interesting of a discussion. But if you ever wanted to have me on and I would give my thoughts on a lot of these channels, I would probably agree with him, and I'd love to do it. He seems like a cool guy. Also, he likes Halo, and I like Halo, so we should play. Bo and Finn will most likely never return. I think Finn could return at some point. I don't think Bo will. I think Oscar Isaac's done. But I would love for them to return, and never say never. It's always possible. What would you do if they brought Star Killer back in the canon? It would be weird. It'd have to be done really well. I'm not opposed to it, because at least he's not a dead character being resurrected. Darth Vader never really had an apprentice, though, in the canon, so that would be a little interesting. but we could see. Do you think the Phantom Menace should get deplatformed? If so, why? No, I don't think so. As much as I think their ideas are really silly and how they do bring and they are dangerous to the fandom. At the end of the day, that's just my opinion. And I don't think my opinion should be enforced on the rest of the world. It's free speech is free speech. It doesn't matter if I like their opinions or not. The Phantom Menace, they're not like threatening people. They're not saying they're going to kill people. So as long as they don't do that, sure, they can spread their nonsense as much as they want. Hopefully we won't wait 30 years to bring Ray back like they did with the OT cast, or even 17 years like they did with Ewan and Hayden. It'd probably be sooner, I guess. I don't know. It could take. I don't think it would be 30 years from now because I think the thing with the OT cast was they're always going to be remembered as great characters. The sequel trilogy cast just isn't going to have that same reception. So people 30 years from now aren't going to be dying to see Rafe and Poe back, you know? Turf Nation is pretty great. Yeah, it seems cool. Yes, it is Star Wars re-edited. Do you think people will get sick of Star Wars anytime soon? I've heard some people give backlash to the fact that almost everything is something we recognize. I think they need to make Star Wars stories fresh and exciting. Like, I think The Mandalorian did a great job of making the Star Wars universe fresh and exciting. So they need more stories like that. If they keep on doing stories like the Book of Boba Fett with familiar characters, then I think Star Wars can get dull. But as long as they keep on introducing new characters, new time periods with new ideas, I don't think Star Wars will get dull. And assuming all the stories aren't awful. If every Star Wars story that comes out is bad, or say the quality of the Book of Boba Fett, I think people would get fed up. You just need, even if like 1 out of every 3 Star Wars shows is good, I think the fandom will be fine. I don't think anyone should get deplatformed. It's not like they're threatening people. Exactly. What if Din and Grogu were killed before The Force Awakens happened? Like, not killed by Kylo Ren? That would be beyond stupid. That would be a huge, dumb decision by Lucasfilm. I've yet to develop any form of ill feelings towards the sequel trilogy, but I'm uncertain as how to dive into it. Gold, I'm a Star Wars, but I'm more detached from the fandom at large. Honestly, I think that's probably for the best. What I would do is I would find a certain pocket of the fandom and like really just dive into that and not focus on other aspects of it if you really want to get into Star Wars. I don't know. Dive into the sequels. You don't need to like love every aspect of Star Wars. If you don't like the sequels, you don't like the sequels. That's fine. You don't need to like try and convince yourself to love it. How can we defeat the Phantom Menace? That's not my job. Defeat such a like. I don't want to defeat the Phantom Menace. I don't think they're good for the fandom, but they are Star Wars fans. Everyone's a fan. I'm not here to gatekeep what fans can and can't do. And I will never attempt to do that. Sorry. I would love to see you, Turf Nation, and Hello Greedo work on a video together. You guys would probably shatter the internet with logic. I'm not sure if Hello Greedo would ever work with someone like me or Turf Nation, but I'd love to do a video with Turf Nation. Seems like a cool guy. Have you seen the channel Girls with Sabers? Back before the Rise of Skywalker, yeah, I did. Because I liked a lot of their videos, especially on Raylo. Because I've always considered myself a sort of kind of Raylo, and I like their content. I haven't watched their content recently, but I think they make really good videos. Star Wars fan, whoa, what is with my typing today? Yeah, people on YouTube just don't know how to type, and that's fine. Do you think Grogu are going to settle down and live a peaceful life? Maybe Grogu will become the Grand Master of Rey's Jedi Order eventually. Doubtful. I think Grogu may be a part of it, but he'll only be like 80 years old by the time Rey is starting her Jedi Academy. If she even does decide to do that. You know. You know what's weird? I feel like when I'm with friends, I can talk for hours and hours. When I'm just like by myself on a podcast talking, my throat starts to hurt. So I need to drink water. I despise gatekeeping. It's so freaking annoying. Every side of the Star Wars fandom has done that. I don't get why fans do that. Yeah. I'm not going to tell anyone what they can and can't do. I can tell you if I think what you're doing is wrong, but you can still do it. It's not like people's lives are at stake here. Grogu. Grogu's a cool dude. So yeah, those are mostly my thoughts on fandom. I try my best not to gatekeep, which is funny because I jokingly do that with my friends in person. Like I have a friend who loves Rogue One, and I always tell him he's an idiot. That's just like friendly banter. I don't actually believe that. Although I can't fathom how someone could think Rogue One is the best Star Wars movie. But hey, we're all different, and that's what makes Star Wars so exciting. Bro, I'm definitely gonna take a nap soon. What do you think of Dark Side Ray? Could be an interesting topic to go down, but if you're just talking about the one appearance in The Rise of Skywalker, I have no thoughts. Gatekeeping is pretty bad. I've seen it with the Halo fandom, with people being called bootlickers for being fine with wanting 343 to add more content to Infinite. The Halo fandom is a little bit similar to Star Wars in a way, where there's like the Bungie and 343 era, just like there's the George Lucas and Disney era, where there'll always be people who are like Disney Star Wars isn't real Star Wars, like 343 Halo isn't real Halo. To me, I love listen, Halo 4 was one of my favorite campaigns ever. I love Halo 4. I think Halo 5 is pretty bad, and Halo Infinite I think is pretty good for the most part. So yeah. Grogu is the future of Star Wars? Definitely. Definitely. Imagine releasing a special edition of Rise of Skywalker with Din and Grogu edited into the final battle. It'd be kind of cool. Rogue One to me is the best Disney Star Wars movie. It's my third favorite Star Wars movie, and it feels better than Return of the Jedi. Yeah, you're allowed to believe that, of course. I wish I liked the movie. I don't. But hey, yeah. I think the Lord of the Rings fandom is going to get a bit wild now as well after this new series starts streaming, especially if the series is bad. So the thing is, if the series is really good and it has diversity, a lot of these toxic people are going to look like idiots. But if the series is bad, then they're going to blame diversity for it, and then it'll be a complete shit show. Favorite Star Wars game? Probably the Lego Star Wars Complete Saga. Yeah. Ooh, my internet's bad. How am I doing? Am I like really bugging out right now, guys? I'm getting a little logo that says my internet connection is pretty bad. Probably because my brother's on the phone right now. Goldman, may I try my earlier question again? What if instead of the Empire, it was the Jedi Order who arrived in the Milky Way and found Earth in modern day? Oh, I don't know. That'd be kind of cool. I'd like to be taken away to a different planet to explore the galaxy. Why don't I like Rogue One? I think Rogue One has very poor characters. None of the characters I think are well developed at all. I think Jyn Erso is a poor protagonist. The battles are cool. The action's cool. Conceptually, I really like it. For me, it just boils down to the characters. I don't think any of the characters are interesting. Did I miss something? Lots of people don't seem to like Hello Greedo, but every video I watched of him, he seems to speak out against toxic behavior and openly mocks Phantom Menace talking points. Yeah, a lot of people don't like Hello Greedo. If you hate Hello Greedo, you're probably at that part of the fandom. Like the Phantom Menace part of the fandom. So yeah. In other words, if something in the nature of Outbound Flight Project was a success, I never read that book, so I don't know what it's about. I know it has to do with Ron. So yeah, I don't know. Since Dave Filoni hinted Ahsoka was alive during the Rise of Skywalker, what do you think Ahsoka was in the sequel trilogy era? I have no clue. How am I supposed to know that? She could be anywhere in the damn galaxy. I have no clue where Ahsoka is. Well, maybe she's still alive and she can chat with Rey. Then she'd be old at that point. She'd be like in her 70s or 80s, man. She'd be old, dude. She'd be old. I guess not that old. I mean, these people are alive in their 70s. Oh, my neck hurts. Outbound Flight was a project to explore the unknown regions. Okay, yeah, that could be pretty cool. Although we're really getting that already. We're getting a lot of exploration into the unknown regions, especially with the Thrawn trilogies, both of them. I don't think the High Republic is diving into the unknown regions. The Rise of Skywalker did. That's how we saw Exegol. But yeah, they're doing a lot with the unknown regions right now. I read that book. I would highly suggest it. Yeah, I don't do much Star Wars reading these days. You can see back here, I have a lot of these books. I've read a lot of them, but to me, like seeing Dave Filoni kind of ignore the comics has made me less interested in reading more books going forward. It's like, I don't know, these books are probably going to get retconned in a few years. I don't see the point in reading them. To me, a lot of people will say, oh, just read them because they're good stories. For me, I want to read Star Wars because I want to know that what I'm reading is a part of a wider universe. If I want to read good stories, I can read dozens of other books in any of different mediums. That's not Star Wars. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on that. I might end the stream a little bit early. I'm kind of tired. Like I really need a nap. I don't know what it is. Thank God I have off tomorrow. Thank God I have off tomorrow. I really do need to start making progress on my Book of Boba Fett rewrite video. Probably be around 20 to 25 minutes again. So yeah, do you guys have any other burning final thoughts, questions before I end the stream? Probably need some lunch and then take a nap. I'm so tired, man. I don't know why, man. It's annoying. I need like newfound energy. Maybe I should start drinking coffee. Because fun fact, I don't drink coffee. I don't drink any caffeine really at all. Fun fact. The canon retcon still annoys me. Like, why? Yeah, it annoys me too. What is your day-to-day routine? Wake up, go to work, come home, make YouTube videos, go to sleep. And then one day a week, I'll either go out to the bars, get really drunk, or have some friends over and we get really drunk that way. That's kind of my day-to-day routine. So yeah, I'm going to hop up now. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate it as always. Don't forget to chant the Glod Squad, and I will see you guys next time.